That was an absolutely dominant performance from Manchester City. And for Liverpool, it was one of those days where everything seemed to go wrong. From the first whistle, City were precise, clinical, and in complete control. They executed every aspect of the game with composure, confidence, and tactical discipline. Liverpool, on the other hand, looked flat, struggled to find cohesion in midfield, and were punished at every opportunity. It was a tough day for the Reds, both physically and psychologically, and the results reflected the gulf in quality and preparation on the day. The final scoreline read Manchester City 3, Liverpool 0 at the Etihad Stadium on November 9th, 2025. The goals came from Erling Haaland, who opened the scoring in the 29th minute, Nico Gonzalez with a deflected strike deep in stoppage time of the first half, and Jeremy Doku with a superb goal in the 63rd minute. The match also featured a pivotal moment early on, when Haaland missed a penalty that could have shifted momentum dramatically. However, City responded immediately and never lost their composure, eventually securing a commanding victory. Beyond the scoreline, this match marked an important milestone for Pep Guardiola, as it was his 1-0th game as a manager, and what a performance to mark that occasion. From the very beginning, City controlled the tempo of the match. Their movements off the ball, rotation in midfield, and pressing high up the pitch caused Liverpool all sorts of problems. Liverpool struggled to build any rhythm in attack, and their attempts to break through City's structure were often met with resistance. The pressing from City was coordinated, systematic and relentless. They forced Liverpool into mistakes consistently and then transitioned with speed and intelligence, demonstrating why they remain one of the most tactically advanced sides in Europe. In the first half, the contrast between the two teams was clear. City were sharper, more focused, and moved the ball with purpose. Every pass seemed deliberate, every movement thought out, and they looked dangerous whenever they advanced into the final third. Liverpool, by contrast, struggled to win second balls in midfield. This lack of presence left the back four exposed repeatedly, as City exploited spaces between the defenders and midfielders. Haaland's opener came from intelligent movement, positioning himself in the perfect area to convert a cross, while the defenders appeared unsure about who should pick him up. This is exactly the kind of decisive moment that defines matches at this level. One lapse, one misread, and the goal comes. Just before half-time, City struck again, and this time it was Nico Gonzalez who got on the scoresheet, although his strike deflected slightly off a defender. That goal was a psychological blow for Liverpool. Entering half-time 2 goals down can completely change the dynamic of a team, and it did here. City had executed sustained pressure throughout the first half, and Gonzalez's goal highlighted how dangerous they are when controlling tempo and exploiting even the smallest gaps in defensive structures. It was the kind of moment that can shake confidence and create doubt in a team, and Liverpool looked rattled as they walked into the dressing room. Liverpool's defensive shape was inconsistent and disjointed throughout the match. There were numerous moments when players hesitated, expecting someone else to cover, which is something you simply cannot afford against a side of City's quality. The back four was slow to respond to City's rotations on the wings, leaving gaps for runners to exploit. The central midfield also failed to provide sufficient protection, and as a result, City's attackers were able to operate freely in dangerous areas. Later in the match, Virgil van Dijk had a header disallowed, and while some may focus on that moment, it was largely irrelevant to the outcome. The problems for Liverpool had been exposed long before that point, and City had already asserted complete control. Erling Haaland, despite his early penalty miss, maintained constant threat throughout the match. He scored the opener and continued to create danger with his positioning, movement and physical presence. Jeremy Doku, who scored the third goal, showcased exceptional pace and timing, cutting through defensive lines with precision and decisiveness. City's wide players consistently stretched Liverpool's defensive lines, moving intelligently off the ball and opening spaces for teammates. By contrast, Liverpool had no individual standout performances. Senior players did not manage to organise the team effectively, and the lack of leadership was evident in defensive errors and missed opportunities. In games of this magnitude, leadership is crucial, and Liverpool lacked it in key moments. Tactically, City were textbook Guardiola football. Their pressing and positional rotations were methodical and precise. Liverpool's pressing was uncoordinated and disjointed, leaving spaces in midfield and making it difficult to contain City's transitions. City created overloads on the flanks, drawing defenders out of position and exploiting the central spaces for Haaland and other runners. Liverpool's attempts to build from the back lacked creativity, and when they did move forward, the final passes or decision-making were often poor, allowing City to regain possession and control once again. The tactical superiority of City was evident throughout the match. 3 moments defined the outcome decisively. The first was Haaland's missed penalty early on, which could have shifted momentum in Liverpool's favour. The second was Gonzalez's stoppage-time goal in the first half, which gave City a 2-goal cushion and created a psychological edge. The third was Doku's strike in the second half, which effectively sealed the result. Each of these moments reflected City's composure and clinical approach, while simultaneously exposing Liverpool's inability to respond effectively. It's a comprehensive display of strategic and tactical superiority. The implications of this match are significant. For City, the win reinforces their credentials as serious title contenders and boosts confidence within the squad. Guardiola reached his 1-0 game as a manager with a performance that highlighted control, precision, and strategic intelligence. For Liverpool, the result is a warning. Defensive communication, midfield control, and leadership require urgent attention. Dropping points in key games can have season-defining consequences if mistakes are not addressed. Moving forward, Liverpool must regroup quickly to remain competitive at the top level. In conclusion, Manchester City were better in every aspect of the game, from intensity and execution to tactical awareness and individual performances. Liverpool were outclassed in terms of tempo, cohesion, and leadership. While City demonstrated clinical execution and mental toughness, Liverpool must respond promptly to avoid further setbacks. The contrast between the teams was evident, and this match will be remembered as a benchmark of Guardiola's team at their peak, and a cautionary tale for Liverpool about the importance of cohesion, preparation, and leadership in high-stakes matches.